Justin Allen and Ron Riley of Modern Cassette Records to introduce themselves. So how did you guys meet?
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Middle school, man.
Yeah.
Middle school, high school. You know, me and Ron been friends since the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys grew up together.
Yeah. I've actually got some photos of us. I think it was.
You probably should burn them, man. It's probably some bad shit.
Yeah, so we ended up becoming really good friends. I'd say about 15 when I moved back to this area, to our home area. Yeah.
We had a common friend, Eric.
Yeah, Eric Montes.
Who got us kind of. Well, Ron was already into it, but got me into punk rock early on, and Eric's went on to achieve hardcore punk fame.
Yeah.
You know, and
he's doing great.
You know, we just kind of got us into that. Do it yourself, love of music. Do it just because it's music, not because you're going to get famous. You're going to take over the world just because it has to be done.
Yeah,
right. Well, that was my next question. How'd you guys get into music?
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, being depressed. Yeah, you know, I mean, shit, man. It's just one of the things that's always been there for me. I don't know.
You found some music that spoke to you.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. From an early age, man. I mean, I got, you know, so many songs, you know, especially being a musician, it's like you log them back here, they just don't go away.
Yeah.
You know?
How about you, Ron?
I got lucky. I grew up on a tobacco farm in the middle of nowhere, and luckily I had older cousins, and I had one cousin, and he was pretty eclectic with his music taste, and he listened from anything from Husker Du to 80s hair metal and stuff. And they had the huge satellite, so I could watch MTV, and 120 Minutes was on there, stuff like that. So through him, I kind of got introduced Jesus and Mary Chain, Husker Du. I was 5 years old, Nirvana, stuff like that, Pixies. I'm 5 years old. I'm okay. I was I listened to, you're a kid, you don't really realize. You're just oh, it's cool. I like that, And I remember being a kid and seeing April Skies by Jesus and Mary Chain on MTV, and I think it was Bastards of Young video by The Replacements, and just being my mind is blown. Yeah. And I got lucky with that, and well,
those are the heyday. That was the heyday of MTV.
Yeah.
You could back then. You could actually call on MTV and be surprised and be excited and want to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
That's how I found a lot of bands. Said Husker Du. I mean, I'd have never known who they were if it wasn't for MTV for that one fucking video.
Yeah, I think it was Candy Apple Grey or something like that. Yeah.
But you could stay up late and listen to Headbangers Ball and stuff and hear Pantera for the first time, and just being growing up out here in the middle of tobacco fields.
Yeah.
That was it was country music or nothing.
So you guys trying to keep the excitement of
music. When you first hear a band like that, and all you've ever heard was bluegrass and country music, gospel kind of stuff. And then you hear something powerful like that, it's what am I doing?
Yeah.
With me, it was what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
So is that why you guys started this thing? You want to bring that back?
Yeah.
Yeah. And with being out here outside of Raleigh-Durham area where it's more rural, there's a lot of artists just like myself and everybody else on the label that exposure doesn't come easy. You've got people who are adults with lives and jobs and stuff, but they're still artists. So what we're kind of going after is people like that.
Yeah.
People who you might not be able to play a sold out show tomorrow night, but you can put out an album, and try to help that creativity evolve.
So you guys are trying to uncover the hidden talent that's out there looking for a way out. You guys are trying to
an outlet for it.
Just trying to be an outlet for the everyman.
Yeah, I mean,
who loves to play.
Man, look, I've been playing music for 20 years. Ron was there when I first started out.
Yeah.
And I mean, talking about playing trash, just banging on a guitar till your fingers bleed.
But it sounded awesome, though. You're just 15 years old, you're holy crap,
Yeah, and
everybody's got a band.
I've still been playing music. There's the other people that are on our label are the same way, And now is the time. I mean, now's the time to, if you want to play music, if you got something creative, it's out there.
Yeah, it's always Oh, no, sorry.
No, it's there. It's the opportunity's there. The platform's there now. It's not like it used to be.
And this has always been like a dream of mine. Like like I was saying earlier, I've been heavily into music since a young kid. It's always been like not just a hobby. It's just something implanted in my brain. It was just like this is like my thing. Whether I choose it or not. But I tried before years and years ago, and it wasn't as easy as it was now. But I was just like, this is what I want to do. This is my passion. And I got lucky enough at a young age, to be introduced into all this different type of music. And also, like, I remember being in, we moved out to Raleigh when I was in middle school when I was very young, and hanging out with this kid, and he just introduced me to, like, these different punk bands, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, Dead Kennedys, and we were listening to Bad Brains, and I'm just like, this is crazy, and I just picked up from there. And then when I got high school, our mutual friend Eric Montanez, this kid shows up, and me and Justin are different. He's a little bit, at the time, he's a little bit more like old school rock and roll. I'm like this, like, I like punk, hardcore, indie rock, underground hip hop.
Ron's always been our resident music snob.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, that's true. And I'm like, I'm totally different, so I can't relate with, like, I can relate with some people like Justin and stuff, but to an extent. And this kid shows up, and these cut off khaki tight pants, these fucking tall red Chuck Taylors. I think he had like this like black vest with all these band like patches on it, and I'm like, yes, I need to go talk to this guy.
At that time, I think the only punk band I'd ever listened to was The Clash, and maybe the Ramones, the classic stuff. And Eric shows up, and he's got like Op Ivy patches, and these bands that I'd heard of, but didn't know that anybody knew about them other than myself.
Yeah.
And so then he comes up and brings these records of these bands that these 7-inch. This is the 90s, okay? So a vinyl record was old school shit that nobody gave a shit about. Back then
that was before our time.
Right. So he would bring these bands and Quincy Punk, Citizen Fish, these bands I'd never heard of, and it was the coolest thing because they were putting out their own stuff, they're doing their own thing. He would bring and Ron. I mean, I know back in those days, what the mixtape was the king. I mean,
oh yeah,
if you made a cool mixtape and passed it out to your friends, that's kind of where the modern cassette comes from. It's like, we're making mixtapes on the internet now, basically.
Well, that was my next question, Ron. Being kind of the driver behind Modern Cassette, what does Modern Cassette mean? I mean, it is what it is. It's modern and it's a cassette. Cassettes are old. It's new and old. Yeah. With that in mind, like, what does that mean to you, and where are you going with this thing? Where's this thing going to be in a year, 5 years?
Yeah, well, the name was kind of like a play on words. I actually thought it was like, I always like, I've tried to play instruments. I don't think I can really sing. I can write really good lyrics stuff. But I'm always like, messing around, like, oh, this would be a good, like, band name. Oh, this would be a really good band name. I actually, Modern Cassette, sent it to, because there was like some kind of thing where it's now the band's called Radar State. And it's members of like the Architects, the Get Up Kids, and the Anniversary, who are all awesome bands. And they were like, "Oh, we got this band, but we need a name." So I sent it to them because that was one of them, and of course it got rejected. But I was like, "Oh, that's it's always been on the back burner for like if I ever like had something cool, like I would use that." And so it just happened that my wife was giving birth to our daughter, and I'm sleep deprived, and I'm just like, I got this new thing like. Life form here that I've got to take care of, but I'm contemplating like everything, just what's going on right now, and I'm just like, I don't want to be 60 years old and be like, I wish I would have done that. I was like, I've tried before, it didn't work out because it was a different time. It was like over a decade ago, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I asked Laura and my wife, and she was like, yeah, she was like, go for it. So I was like, okay. So I took the first like steps while we're in there. I'm researching, go ahead, set up stuff. And I was like, I'm just going to reach out to Justin and, to see what he thinks about it. And I was like, hey, man, I'm going to start my own record label. I was like, whether I fail or not. And he's just like, sign me up. And I'm like, okay. And it kind of just snowballed from there.
Yeah. And so where's it going? Where's it going to be in a couple years?
Hopefully, we'll have,
studio.
Cassettes. I hear cassettes are making a comeback.
Yeah, they are.
Well, we can definitely do the cassettes.
Yeah, we'll do.
Burn some cassettes.
The formats, I feel like, we can handle any of that. Right now, everything's digital, just because it's easy. We're looking at doing some vinyls. cassettes. Like I said, I still got my old 4-track cassette recorders. So we can still make
it is coming back.
Whatever it is, they want music they can hold.
But that and our ultimate goal is to have our own studio. I think. Right now, each artist on the label is producing their own music, and all the artists on our label keep their royalties to their music. We don't take their rights. We don't take their money. Because everybody's producing this stuff themselves.
That is the modern way.
My thing is, I can't tell an artist, hey man, you're going to give me 20% for something you can do yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Our goal is to help promote artists. A big thing that has happened really just kind of organically with the label is that the collaborations between people. I mean, I've played on some of our artists' albums. They've played on mine. I mean, it's that's
Let me
the
jump
whole
in.
thing.
That was my next question here. You're a musician. You do some solo work as well as some work with Electromanic.
Yeah.
So what are you looking to do? Where are you looking to go with this in the next year or two? What are you going to bring to this? What are you looking to bring?
Well, the kind of thing that joined us up. Ron's the guy. Okay, Ron can go out here and meet 50 people, go home, send them friend requests, and they're all accept because everybody loves Ron. Okay, Ron knows everybody. He's got all the connections. I mean, Ron is right there. He's got his finger on the pulse of all kinds of music. Me, I'm a little more in the behind the scenes. I've been working on recording for a long time. I've been into music production for a long time, so I kind of bring the technical side of it in. All of our artists, it's a very open forum as far as you got problems, let me know. We'll work it through it. Like I might have seen that before. Do you need a guitar player on your record? Do you need a bass player? Do you need somebody to come in and play some keyboard? I can hook that up. Definitely
setting up shows.
That thing, and it's all about helping each other. I mean, the label.
So the label's a team.
Yeah, it's like a family.
The label's a team. The label's a family.
It's a family. It's
not mailing checks out. Everybody's working together.
Nobody's working for anybody. This is a collective. I mean, this is a very everybody's we're all in. We're all trying to help each other. We got some really excellent artists to start off with. I mean, we
kind of got lucky on that one.
Really, yeah.
I didn't expect to snowball as big as it did starting out. I was okay, And I mean, I'm not talking about myself. I feel like I'm third in line. You got Sean, who's just excellent as far as production goes. It's Caballero, and Mickey, Manic Pixie Real Girl, who's also my cohort in Electromanic. I mean, Mickey can sit there and just make killer beats, pull them out of the air, So I feel like I'm really fortunate to just know these people and be able to work with them, add my little bit to what they do, and we always, Ron's kind of like our, hey, what do you think? How does this sound? Before you send it to anybody else, Ron will tell us, yeah, it sounds good. It might sound better if you did this. Yeah, because I'm not going to bullshit about anything.
Yeah, he's not going to, and I don't want any sugarcoating. I want you to tell me, hey, that sucks.
Well, you've put together a pretty wide-ranging mix of artists. You've got some electronic stuff. You've got some electric guitar stuff. You've got some hip-hop. What is there anything you're looking to add? Are you taking all comers? Is there a certain genre hole you're trying to fill, or is it?
I wouldn't say
whatever you like. Is it?
I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say a certain genre. Sort of what I like, but sort of I'm not gonna go put well, this is hot right now. I'm not gonna put it on there. If I hear something and it just intrigues me, and I'm just because I listen to all kinds of different genres. I'm an asshole about what I listen to, but I listen
a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But if I can hear something, and I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's on freaking pop radio or or if it's in the subculture of music. If it's amazing, then I'm just it pulls me in, And I, with the label, I'm kind of going off of. I'm basing the label off of stuff like Discord Records and Merge Records, Yap Rock, Matador, Sub Pop, stuff like that. It's not, you're going to hear 10, 15 songs on the radio, all going to sound the same. That's not my bag or how.
In fact, we've got
You're not looking for cookie cutter copy.
Yeah, I want something original.
You just want something original and interesting.
That's interesting, original. That's gonna make me be like, wow.
We have a playlist going on around on Spotify now. It's everything on Modern Cassette Records. It's everything. It's everybody's stuff that's been put out under the label. And if you go on that playlist and just put it on play, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Hold on. Let's understand this. Where do I find you guys' music? If I want to listen right now. Where do I go?
Spotify.
I go to Spotify. What do I
iTunes.
search? I search Modern Cassette Records.
Yeah.
And click go, and it's going to give me all of it, right?
Or the individual artists: Electromanic, Manic Pixie Real Girl, Caballero, and J.R. Allen.
Yep.
That's me.
Okay.
And but yeah, if you search Modern Cassette Records, there's a playlist, and
I can find the artists from there.
Yeah.
Very good.
And www.moderncassetterecords.com. We got a merch store. We got we've really hit the ground running in the past couple months.
Yeah.
You know, Ron's been working really hard with it.
So have you.
You guys are active on social media.
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
It's easy to follow.
And this is the thing is that I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been playing music, and I've been doing this as far as digital distribution and all. I mean, for the past couple of years, I've been doing it by myself, and I feel like that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, you need to get out here. All of us independent artists, you can't go it alone. You can't. You're not gonna just be by yourself and have this just happen. I mean, we can all do this together. We can share each other's stuff together. We can, it's networking. It's just as much as it is anything else.
Yep.
I mean, just like any other job you got to network. You got to know people. You might go out to a show, meet somebody who's in another band. Oh man, you friend them on Facebook, find out their band rocks, you know, and now you got somebody maybe you can open with,
yeah,
or whatever,
numbers,
and that's the thing is all of us out here that aren't, we don't have the money to go out and tour, or we don't have the means. Like you got a family, you've got a real life, There's no reason that your music should just sit in a shoebox.
Unheard.
I mean, there's so many people I know that were great musicians, but it never happened. And at some point, they just stop.
Yeah.
And
for example, what I was playing earlier.
Right.
For you, I
mean, they just stop, and that's sad. I mean, it's just like any other creativity, man. Artists, musicians, we all have this innate sense to create, and you have to keep creating. If you don't, I swear to God, it's like a shark that stops swimming. You just turn into someone you don't want to be.
It kills you inside.
It does. Exactly. It does. And so if we can
keep the flame burning.
Yeah. I mean, and there are artists that we won't take. There's certain things that we're just not willing to put up with. We're not out here to push any kind of agenda. We're not out here to, make any kind of huge statements other than the statement of good creativity.
Yeah, we're doing it for the love of music.
Yeah.
For our love of music.
Yeah. And if an artist writes a kick-ass political song, we'll post it.
Hell yeah.
But we're not out to
push our
fly
own
any kind of flags or anything like that.
Keep it neutral.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Just making good music.
There's some hard lines I think we have about things.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put up with it so much.
But before we wrap this up, Ron, what albums can we expect? What's in the works? And Justin, what are you working on? This is kind of a two-part question. What are you working on now, and what's coming?
All right, so we have an album by Caballero, which if you spell it out, it's _ first. And he's got an album coming out here probably within the next week, and it should be on Spotify.
Summer 93.
Yeah, and it's really
I'll look for that.
It's killer.
It's really good.
It's good stuff.
He's working on some stuff.
Justin, what are you doing right now?
So, right now, Electromanic, we just put out episode back in January. Our next EP will be Spell. We've got a concept of these EPs that are coming out this year. So
I look forward to that. I love
Spell will be coming out by the summer. We're pretty much it's all together right now, and we'll probably have another one by the end of the year. My solo stuff, J.R. Allen, my EP came out in February, and I'll be trying to get a 10-song album out probably by the end of the summer.
Very good.
And we, like I said, we're all working on each other's stuff. I mean, like on Sean's record, Caballero, I'm playing on 3 of the songs.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah. So it's like you said, it's a family. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm really eager to tap into some of that with my own stuff. You know, I'm gonna be hitting Sean up for some things, and you know, we're all trying to work together, man. It ain't about, yes, the label's a business. Yes, we want to sustain it, but our ultimate goal is to push this independent music along. You know,
we want to draw people in, not draw them in and then leave because they're like, I can't stand working with these guys because of whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, that answers all my questions. Ron Riley, Justin Allen, Modern Cassette Records.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.